We're going to begin with the severe flooding in central Texas 1 year after the deadly tragedy there. Heavy rains in the hill country in southwest Texas caused flash flooding and evacuations. Among the areas hit include Kerrville, where the Guadalupe River rose to high levels and moved rapidly downstream. It was a nightmare for residents there and in other parts of the state, including Uvalde, which saw widespread flooding. Flood sirens installed by private companies and the state of Texas in Kerr County worked by sounding the alarm to alert residents of the dangerous flooding. We spoke with Republican State Representative Wes Virdell of Brady, whose Central Texas district includes Kerrville. He told us the state legislature needs to spend more on the flood sirens next session, and he explained why the water rose more quickly this year than last year.
One of the problems we have right now, which is most of our vegetation got swept away last year, and the water is flowing a lot faster than it did last year. And in the more downstream areas like Kerrville and Ingram and Center Point, those took a heavy toll. The water is as high potentially or even higher than it was last year right now. But I know that we have Texas Parks and Wildlife, so the game wardens and DPS, they've all brought boats in. Tatum is here with their swiftwater rescue. And so we definitely have had people that were staged already, ready to do that. And we've been hearing reports here and there of people being on their roofs or stuck in their attics. And my understanding is all those people have been rescued so far.
We've seen reports that the flood sirens that were put in place did work, both those put in privately and those put in by the state. Talk to me a little bit about that and the difference that it made.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about the difference that it made. I know I just received a video shortly, probably about 30 minutes ago, from somebody who had put in the private warning systems, and they seem to be working fine. The sirens work. There's 3 of them. They all 3 went off. And, I'm still hesitant about the effectiveness of a siren, especially if it's middle of the night and pouring down rain. But at the same time, it's really kind of what the state wanted, and so they're working on getting more put in. But I would say that they turned on and they worked. I just haven't heard anybody from locally saying whether they heard them or not.
Now, 29 counties, I guess, they got approval, but they are still waiting. They're still in the process of getting these flood sirens. Any concerns about that in these other counties?
Yeah, I think the concern is the amount of money allotted to the sirens. And so just in Kerr County, we were talking to one of the groups that were looking at how do we get the sirens put across the county. And it was going to be around $40 million to get enough sirens based on the mandates required by the state. And the state did not fund anywhere near that amount. So I think there is a challenge on, okay, how do we put them in? How do we maintain them? And how do we afford them?
Didn't the state put in like $50 million for these?
Well, if you think about it, so let's say there's 29 counties that they're supposed to put them in. And just in Kerr County, they're estimating a cost of about $40 million. And so there's really not enough money when you spread it across all those counties.
And our lawmakers, I know you are, but are other lawmakers aware that they're going to have to put more money into this in the next?
I think so. I do think so. We're going to have to go back to the legislature and look at some things that were done, especially the camp safety bill, and fix definitely some overreactions to what happened, and make sure that we have proper funding in those counties for the mandates that are placed on them.